Talladega Superspeedway is the home of tonight's SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series race, the OJ Memeorial 200. I am excited for this one, but before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. I am Joshua Coppernoll. I'm joined by Michael Kruger. Mikey, how you doing?
Doing good, Josh. Looking forward to what should be a very exciting race or night of racing here in the Coast to Coast Cup Series at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, this should be a fun one. Talladega is such an awesome track, and we're gonna see. Looks like 33 drivers registered, all with a shot to win this thing. First one out on track for qualifying is going to be Quentin Haley. So we will watch as he starts to get wound up. 2 laps here at the 2.66 mile Superspeedway for qualifying.
Yeah, not really much for qualifying here. It's honestly kind of a crapshoot, but yet here at Talladega, or pretty much any Superspeedway, you can really finesse some speed here by just using some cheeky strategy. And speaking of strategy, I'm seeing some guys, Josh, that are making some very unique approaches to exiting the pits. They're leaving out in high gears and they're just crawling onto the racetrack and are making very slow transitions onto the track and trying to keep their tires cool for their hot laps. But you just see that and guys just full sending it.
What's interesting to me is Quentin Haley's line right here. Lap 1 already on the bottom. I know a lot of the times a lot of drivers prefer to do the top line on lap 1, and here come to the start-finish line for lap 2, swing down to the bottom, but Quentin Haley stays down on the bottom. It's going to be a 53.112.
What's interesting, I'm in his cockpit view right now. He's in 5th gear on his quali lap. Typically in the next gens, you're in 4th gear, but I don't know. I mean, so far he's holding up 2nd, albeit not many guys have gone out to make a lap, but it's just interesting to look at here.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you pointed that out, because that's not even something that I was thinking of either. You know, once you get in the draft, once you're racing, 5th gear is where you're going to want to be at, but you actually lose a little bit of speed in iRacing in 5th gear solo here. But 53.208 is lap 2 for Quentin Haley. So that's not an improvement so far. P2 for the number 13.
I'm just flipping through different cockpits here, and there are guys that are. There's a lot of guys that are running 4th gear around here, but there's some that are running 5th. I'm kind of baffled by it, and it's just really, I just didn't see that on the bingo card at all. But, I mean, I saw Cazzola, who's P3 right now, he was in 5th gear, and he's P3 on the board right now. I mean, it's just, I just never thought we'd see gear changings for qualifying here being a factor for lap times and or stuff like that.
53.230 for Hunter Collier, P16 and barrel roll.
Certainly, probably won't be the only flip of the night, to say the least.
Johnny Robinson, 54.139, P27. lap 1. You see Robinson was up against the wall for that first lap. Now going to run the bottom. Now my only concern here is there's 20 seconds left. He's just now exiting turn 2. Is there enough time for Robinson to complete this this lap?
I'm afraid to say it, but he's out of time. It's not a good feeling, but he's going to be out of time. He's going to be the pretty much last place here for saying a lap. That'll do it for qualifying.
All right, so that does it for qualifying. And we are getting ready for 75 laps around this track. I'm going to go ahead and take you through our starting lineup in just a second. All right, let's go ahead and look at that starting lineup. Blake Walker going to start on the pole. Quentin Haley will be joining him on row 1. Row 2 is going to see Devin Frank, Gabe Cazzola, Ollie Reeves, and Larry Miles. Row 3. Row 4 is going to be Luke Mahone, Draper Burns. And row 5, Wyatt Roberts and Brad Sawinski.
Row 6, you're going to have Brad Sawinski, wow, great start. Rounding out row 6, you'll have Brady Floyd starting 11th with Easton Harrison on his outside, starting 12th. Row 7, you'll have Cody Webster starting 13th alongside Shockey Tarpley, P14. Next up, you'll have Brett Bennett starting 15th with Brian Lorenzo on his outside. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer will be starting P17 tonight with Cody Rivera starting P18. Starting P19, you'll have Dawson Allen. Next to him will be Harry Mitchell, starting P20.
21st, Declan George. Nicholas Borowski starts 22nd. 23rd, Eric Keeter. Hunter Collier will start 24th. 25th will be Wes Gallo. Michael Walls, 26th. Andretti Robinson, 27th. Jordan Koontz, 5 wins in a row. Can he make 6 tonight? It's going to be tough. He starts 28th. 29th, it's going to be Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Ben McDonald starting in 30th. And it's going to show, this is where things might start to get a little funky, by the way. Ellis Wells is actually going to be race control. He's not actually racing tonight, so it shows him starting 31st. Pierce Maff at 32nd. 33rd, Zachary Bonsek. Donovan David, 34th. And that's it. So 33 drivers actually will race, it appears, the OJ Memorial 200. Mikey, who is your pick to win tonight?
This place is such a wild card, and it's going to be really hard to pick one guy to win out of everyone in the field, but I'm just going to throw a dart at the board, blindfolded, and just see if it sticks tonight. I think I might have to stick with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer getting it done tonight, winning here tonight in the OJ Memorial 200 at Talladega.
There are so many drivers in the field tonight. How in the world did you take my pick? Oh man, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer.
Future, buddy.
Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is such a great pick. You know what? I got you. I'm gonna go with another driver, Gabe Cazzola.
Oh.
Teammates with Jurgensmeyer usually. Those guys really good at Superspeedways. Both of them are. I think both of them making their first start in the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series tonight. They are no strangers to JCTV racing. So we'll get back to that a little bit later in case you have no idea who either one of them are. Inside the restart zone, green flag is out. We are underway here at Talladega.
So far, everyone's double file as you see some guys pulling to the outside trying to make it 3 as one car is dropping to the apron and is losing spots. That would be, I believe, Cody Webster. He must be dropping back, playing it safe early. As meanwhile, guys ahead like Brad Sawinski and Cody Rivera and Michael Walls, they're making it 3 wide, or trying to at least, here on lap 1.
Quentin Haley, Gabe Cazzola, they get clear to the bottom and go down there. But here comes Larry Miles with Ollie Reeves. They're on the outside line right now, making some speed up. Luke Mahone, Trevor Burns. Oh, but you mentioned that third line. It is forming.
And we're starting to see some guys pulling out of line. One more other car starts to hit the apron. That would be the 25, I believe, of Shockey Tarpley. He's going to the back as they're 3 wide up front, Josh.
Yeah, here comes... Is that Ethan Harrison? That is Ethan Harrison and a 77 on track. 69 in sim, but now it's going to be Cody Riveras with Michael Walls.
Oh, wow, and Walls goes from top to bottom. He's going to take the lead at the moment, but I think Rivera's is going to blow the doors off of Walls here, come down the back straightaway. He's going to get that big shot from his pushy right behind him.
Yeah, Collier wasting no time pushing Cody Rivera's. And it's going to be 3 drivers getting clear. Rivera's, Collier, and Mahone.
With that big shot, they for a moment broke away from the pack, not by a huge gap, but just briefly, as Michael Wall's going to have a huge run blocked by Mahone, and Mahone's going to take it, and it's going to try to challenge as Rivera throws an aggressive block, and Walls is going to ditch Mahone and go low, but it has no help.
Right now, still Cody Rivera's controlling this race ahead of Mahone and Walls. Lots of shuffling going on. Walker, he goes to the outside. He's got Quentin Haley right behind him. Drivers being very aggressive early. As Walker and Rivera side by side for the race lead. Everybody fanning out. This is insane.
Because in the middle pack, Cazzola and Miles almost got together. That looked like it was about to be a crash, but they kind of realized, they kind of played smart about it and just like gave each other room and backed out. So that was a near wreck in the middle of the pack there. As the field is just kind of just spread out a little bit. It's not very organized too well at all.
I think some people are looking at this and saying, no, that's a little too crazy for me, and just kind of hanging back. Meanwhile, you've got drivers up front, Cody Rivera's, Michael Walls, Hunter Collier. They're like, they want to be up there controlling this race.
Yeah, and really, if you want to pretty much kind of dominate this race, and I think probably one of the more questionable places to be that's at times could be safe but also dangerous is leading this thing, and Walls wants to take control of this race and kind of control both lanes as Rivera is going to assume the lead, and he's going to leave Brad Walker kind of on an island only with Luke Mahone as the middle line's going to kind of be fading back a little bit here potentially.
Oh, Collier goes down onto the apron, finds his way back in the line.
There it is.
Luke Mahone going to the outside. Brian Lorenzo behind him, pushing.
As we just saw there, Cody Rivera's made an aggressive move as Brian Lorenzo's going to go leave Mahone out to dry and take the lead away from Mahone with help from Ollie Reeves and Brady Floyd.
Everybody just getting momentum, going into a hole, taking it. Now look, who's nose to tail on that high line? It is Walls and Cazzola. Micah Walls, we know him. Driver, if you only watch this league here, Thursday nights on JCTV, you'll know Micah Walls. Micah is part of the T1A guys, as well as Gabe Cazzola. Micah really the only one that has transitioned into racing in this league before really anybody else. Brett Bennett, not a part of that group, but he's one that, you know, has been a part of other leagues, eventually come over here. But Micah Walls and Cazzola, they are teammates, they are friends, I believe. And nose to tail, although now they've got Collier right in front of them, but who knows, maybe they can get working together. Oh, and yeah, I just realized who was behind them. It is Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
Mr. Eat That Bear himself. If you are someone that's familiar with Mr. Ethan Fonseca Moreno here on JCTV, you would be quite familiar with this man, as this guy runs Saturdays in the BSR AmsOil Truck Series, and also in the Slide Drop Racing League on Tuesday nights, and he's making a guest appearance, if you want to say, here tonight.
Oh,
and Blake Walker and I believe Ben McDonald, or I think it was it was Harry Mitchell, excuse me, almost got together there, but they kept it going.
So now Collier, he is going to take the lead, pulls down to the bottom in front of Lorenzo. Now look at it. Top three drivers. Walls, Cazzola, Moreno. And just behind that 77 on track, 69 in sim is Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Another one of the T1A guys. As yeah, he's going to stay up top. Harrison pulled low, so now it is all four of those guys drilling this race.
T1A 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. They are in control at this moment as they broke away from the pack for a moment as Mahone and Rivera's are kind of dicing it a little bit as Rivera's has to go low, but he's kind of on an island as Mahone's also going to try to split Jergs, but it's going to kind of slow Jergs down and Jergs is going to get shuffled as we have a wreck on the front stretch apparently or something. I don't know.
We had a big stack up, that's for sure. So now they are 3 wide for 6th. Cody Rivera's in the middle.
Let's see, Declan George, Zachary Bonsek, Chucky Tarpley, and Traver Burns. Those guys have lost the draft. While we're focusing up front, those four, they have lost the draft, and they are nowhere near catching the lead draft anytime soon. They are in serious trouble.
And honestly, it might not be a bad thing for them. Declan George, he is way off the pace. Zachary Bonsek, he is actually not with Tarpley, Burns, and McDowell, I believe. No, McDowell is part of the main group here.
Yeah, Unfortunate break for those guys, and they're probably praying for a caution sometime soon because, I mean, just to get back to the lead draft, but they might get their wish with how nuts this racing's been so far.
Oh man, Jersmeyer caught the apron there.
Mahone's trying to split these T1A guys up and trying to make a move, but he does not have the help, and he's
man!
Oh, Moreno gets sideways from Brad Walker there.
Oh, Cody
by Jurgensmeyer. There's a spin in the back, and Jurgensmeyer's around, but saves it. And there's the yellow.
Wow.
We just talked about it, Josh, how those guys that lost the draft needed a caution. They just got their wish.
This is an incredible save by Rivera's and Jurgensmeyer.
That was an excellent save, or excellent job there by Jurgensmeyer. Initially, it looked like Mahone and Rivera's got stacked up, and Jurgensmeyer just kind of slightly turned Rivera's, and it looked like after Rivera saved it, he just barely came up the track and just clipped Jurgensmeyer, and Jurgs made a heck of a save holding on to that, and it was the very fortunate deal that wreck was not as bad as it was, as it easily could have been much worse.
Motor caution for the first time tonight here in the OJ Memorial 200. If you hadn't heard, OJ Simpson passed away yesterday. I actually didn't even hear about it till today, although a lot of news broke out today about it. But I was very surprised to hear that, actually. If you're not sure who O.J. Simpson is, he's a famous football player that I think could have had a really good career. But there was a murder that happened. He actually was acquitted, found not guilty, which surprised a lot of people. And there's a ton of people that still believe he is guilty from that. But drivers on pit road. Jordan Kuntz stays out, and the race off pit road going to be won by Cazzola, Walls, Moreno, Frank, Lorenzo, Mahone, Reeves, Walker, Dawson Allen, and Brad Sawinski, your top 10 off of pit road.
I think for one of the reasons potentially why I think Jordan Kuntz stayed out there is possibly to lead a lap, and I think he's probably going to pit once they come by pit road here, and he's probably going to just take for fuel. Pretty much ever since the start of the race, since I've kind of looked back, he's basically been in the back of the field. I think he's just trying to play it safe so far at the start of the race and try not to get diced up here with all the craziness that's been going on so far at the front of the field. So I think I'm predicting that he's probably going to come on down here and top off on fuel.
Yeah, Jordan Kuntz has had an incredible season so far. Like I mentioned earlier, 5 wins in a row. And Talladega, it is a wild card of all wild cards. If he could find a way to win tonight, I mean, he's incredible. He's already incredible. I should say, yeah, if he could find a way to win tonight, that would make him incredible. He's already had such an incredible season, his Jordan Kuntz, and he's actually going to stay out here.
Well, I'm glad I didn't bet on that. Jeez, that is definitely something. I did not anticipate him to stay out there.
So real quick, I just want to mention earlier this week, actually on Tuesday, was my dad's birthday. I turned 58. I totally meant to wish him a happy birthday on stream on Tuesday night. I didn't. I forgot. We had such a great race Tuesday that I was so focused on that. But, you know, I did talk to my dad on his birthday, and he had a pretty good one. But happy belated birthday to my dad. Happy birthday to Cameron Caldwell today, turning 21 years old. Cameron Caldwell is one of the guys behind JCTV. He's really helped me a ton get this league going. The on-screen ticker that you see, that was designed by Cameron Caldwell. A lot of paint schemes that can be run throughout the week, made by Cameron Caldwell. I don't think any scheme made tonight is a Cameron Caldwell or C2 Graphics scheme, but Cam's such an awesome guy, awesome friend. We're lucky to have him. Happy 21st to him. Hope he has a great one. And also, you know, I got one more. Tomorrow is my brother's birthday. My brother is going to be 29 years old, so happy birthday to my brother Zach tomorrow.
Yeah, happy. Just kind of follow up, I guess. Just, yeah, happy birthday, or late birthday to your dad, and yeah, happy birthday for Camp's 21st. I know he's probably enjoying it somewhere from where he lives. I mean, he's Lord Emperor of Laser Sim Racing on Saturday nights and mastermind of the graphics package here on JCTV, and we don't know what we'd do without him. We don't know what we'd do without Cam, what he does here. So, yeah, thank you for that.
Getting ready to go back green here in the OJ Memorial 200. 59 laps to go at the line. Jordan Coots, the control car, inside the restart zone. Green flag waving. We're back underway here at Talladega.
Kuntz got a big jump there, and I think Cazzola here, he's also kind of clear of the bottom. I bet he's going to try to look high here to get around Kuntz, as he's going to do that to try to follow his three T1A teammates right up there on the high side, as they're going to get a big run, as Kuntz is going to kind of stack the bottom up just a little bit, as those T1A guys are hauling the middle lane, as they're already getting 3 wide in the back.
And I noticed a little bit of a shove.
Oh, we have a spin in the back. Luke Mahone around. Ben McDonald, Ollie Reeves. A huge crash in turn 3. Looks like Ethan Harrison was involved. Luke Mahone was involved. Harry Mitchell. Wes Gallo was involved. Pierce, Moffitt, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer got a piece of that.
Looks like it starts just a little clip by Reeves into the fake 77. Ethan Harrison. It's just a little clip. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it looked like Harrison went middle, and then I guess I don't think Reeves realized that Harrison went from the top to the middle there, and Reeves kind of just came up. It just kind of looked like one of those deals, really. I mean, it just all happened so quickly. Like, some of these guys are just poor bystanders, like Luke Mahone and Brady Floyd. I mean, at least looking damage-wise, no one's got a meatball, but you got to think that guy like Brady Floyd has got to have some major damage on his car, along with Luke Mahone and probably Harry Mitchell.
Yeah, I don't... You know, as far as that accident, I don't really know, like... I'm not going to call blame on either one of those drivers personally. Just, you know, the way it looked, Reeves and Harrison, I mean, you mentioned it. Harrison comes down, Reeves goes up just a little bit. You know, when you have, and I talk about the difference between having an AI spotter and an in-person spotter quite a bit, you know. The AI spotter is going to tell you there's one to the outside. And when you just have moves like this, you know, it is, as a driver, your responsibility to see where they're at, you know, at how far you are from the car beside you. But when you're going in such fast-paced motion like this, it kind of happens simultaneously, you know. There's no way to really see where the other driver is at. Now, it's where you have an in-person spotter. And again, I don't know how other people spot, but me, I am a spotter for some guy. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, Mikey, but his name is Michael Kruger. I'll let my driver know. You know, he's real tight on your door, or you've got 2 car widths, 1 car width. He's all the way up at the wall, all the way down at the line. You know, I'll give plenty of information to where drivers are beside you. And that's kind of the difference, you know. It really, as a spotter, you got to paint the picture. But when you have the AI spotter, you know, the picture isn't clear. I have to say it's not really a Picasso painting. It's well, one of my paintings. It looks like a duck, maybe, but that's about it.
Very well spoken there from a iRacing spotter there, Josh. I mean, from our times for when you spot for me, I mean, you really do manage to paint the picture that I can't see from when I'm in the driver's seat. And yeah, I mean, that was a pretty great description, really, to kind of break it down, really, how meaningful it is from having a human spotter to the iRacing spotter.
So the Sleek does have choose cone, and Cazzola, Walls, and Moreno all pick the high line here. That's going to open up the door for Lorenzo, Walker, and Brett Bennett to take the bottom.
I think we kind of are starting to foresee what these T1A guys are going to do on this restart here. And my prediction, I'm thinking they're going to all go at the same time, and they're going to try to break away from the field here on this restart and kind of drive away here. And it's going to all come down to Cazzola timing it, and because Micah and Ethan, they're going to go with them. They're not going to go thin for themselves. They're going to go work together, and they're going to drive off here on this restart and just get all of themselves clear here. And it's just what I'm thinking they're going to be trying to plan out to do. And I think we'll just see how they can execute it here.
Going to be interesting. See what happens here, you know. Big team advantage for the 3 drivers that are lining up top.
I think also another thing to keep in mind here is that potentially, like, how long we go green here. I went to go check in sim a little bit ago, and the fuel window is roughly at about 53 laps or so is the longest you can go, and we're getting a little bit closer to getting to 53 laps. And some guys under caution came down pit road, like Jordan Kuntz and Trevor Burns, who didn't suffer damage from that incident, and they were just getting field filled up. And it'll be curious to see if we go green here potentially and see if those guys are going to try to save hard here.
So the pace car is in, and green flag back out. 55 laps left here in the OJ Memorial 200. Brett Bennett moves up top.
Lorenzo tried to go up there, but he could not get there, as Brett's going to have a big run here, and he's not going to follow. He's going to try to go to their outside here with help from Ethan Collier. As Michael Walls makes an aggressive block, it almost results in a disaster. They hold on as the T1A guys are broken up now. And Cazzola just made a heck of a block on Lorenzo, as Lorenzo's giving him a big shot through 3 and 4.
And the biggest loser in all of that is Ethan Fonseca Moreno. And here comes Lorenzo to the outside of Cazzola.
Aggressive of a move, but it paid off big. He's leading with Michael Walsh pushing him. The Mississippi Missile.
This is exactly what somebody needed to do, and that was find a way to get these T1A guys broken up. Brett Bennett between Walls and Cazzola, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno in the middle line, second car in that middle line, which is currently led by Collier.
Yeah, you can see right now that the third lane is really backed up a little bit here as that lane led by Collier in the middle line, that is starting to gain some action. Brett Bennett almost gets into Collier there as Collier's going to be side by side with Michael Walls going into one.
So Collier going to be even, and actually no longer even. Collier going to be able to take the race lead, pull down if he wants to. He wants to stay right in front of Ethan Fonseca Moreno, actually. And I noticed Cazzola pulled up into the middle line. That middle line is cooking right now. As that Andretti Robinson pulls up to the high line. Oh, stack up, Brett!
Oh,
there's a wreck.
They're sliding and they somewhat keep it clean, but caution's out. Oh, Rivera's almost gets into someone. They almost wreck. I believe some familiar faces may or may not have just gotten together. And if you know from, well, or actually, no, I was wrong. No, ooh.
Brett Bennett was pushing Walls, checked up just a little bit. Got clipped from behind by Blake Walker.
It looked like it all started, Josh, when Brett kind of had Micah Walls offset. When Micah looked like he was a little off the yellow line, he moved a little up, and Brett thought he was going to go there, and Brett had to back out, nearly turn Walls, and Blake Walker was not hooked on the yellow line and just kind of gave Brett a bad. He kind of got into his right rear quarter panel and right into Miles, Lorenzo, and Reeves, and several other guys like Dawson Allen, and some of these guys are very, very lucky that it was not a worse accident. This really could have been very, very bad, but a lot of these guys are lucky that it wasn't as bad as it was. I just think from that, the biggest loser might have been possibly Brett Bennett, potentially, because his nose right now is just falling off, maybe, or it looks like it's barely hanging on. I don't know. But he's going to have a long time here under caution to get this fixed, since it takes forever for the pace car to get around here.
Yeah, pace speed 65 miles an hour. This track 2.66 miles long. It'll be about 50 something seconds here.
I think also, I forgot to mention this, but earlier I was talking about fuel mileage, and this might be the time where some guys might make their last time getting fuel in the car, because I think, Josh, don't get me wrong, they might possibly be in the fuel window here, potentially.
It
just might.
It is possible.
At least roughly from when I was able to get in the car, you can have the fuel window at about 53 laps, roughly, give or take. And we're going to be really tight, and we might have, if this goes green all the way, everyone can make it, roughly, if they can, conserve a little bit or be conservative here. And if it goes green, obviously, but I don't think it will, but just to keep in mind.
Cody Webster, Jordan Kuntz, and Eric Heater all stay out.
Yeah, they came in the caution prior to this, and I'm no expert to really know what their fuel window is, but given that it was at roughly 56 or 55 to go, and the green flag dropped before the latest caution came out, I mean, I don't know if these guys are going to be safe if this goes green all the way somehow. So, if we get a long run here and it might go all the way to the end, we might need to keep in mind about what these guys are doing here fuel window wise.
It'll be interesting as drivers come to the choose cone.
Following choose several guys that were down pit road that had sustained damage from the wreck, like Brett Bennett and Ollie Reeves. They have pulled out onto the track at the last second to try to catch up to the lead draft. Meanwhile, you have Brian Lorenzo still sitting in the pits with what looks like significant nose damage. So he's trying to sort it out while some other guys that just got off pit road are trying to get back to around the track to catch the leaders here before they go green.
You know, I'm just reading a message, and I realized I spelt Memorial wrong on the ticker. So that's nice. It's not the Memeorial. I promise. We are not laughing at OJ's passing. Anyway, you know, some people probably would have never noticed that I said that. Green flag's back out.
Fine. The bottom, if you weren't one of those front guys that got going that restart, the bottom really just did not go. As there's not many, well, as I say that, there's pretty much almost everyone to the bottom after a little bit after the restart. Is the top is very short on numbers. Is really the top five have broken away on the bottom.
So anyway, Michael Walls and Hunter Collier, they are in the top lane, trying to make something happen. Michael Walls really wants to control this race. Micah is a former winner on JCTV, a couple wins actually in BSR AmsOil Truck Series. Always mixing it up at these plate races, and yeah, Eric Heater pulled up. Walls wanted nothing of that, and you know, I see those T1A guys up top with Collier in the mix. Now a lot of drivers go to the eye line, joining Collier, pulls down in front of Webster, and you're Collier. Now you just gave those T1A guys an opportunity to get back nose to tail.
It looks like, or it looked like for a moment, more guys are going to follow as Brad Walker and Quentin Haley, they are going to follow these T1A guys on the top here as they are just giving each other some big shots here down the back, heading into turn 3 as they are definitely put some distance on the bottom here as the bottom is certainly faded.
Yeah, the one interesting thing, ever since this next gen has been introduced, you really can make the top line work in iRacing like they do in the real NASCAR races. And Walls, Moreno, and Cazzola, they know that. But you need a group of guys to work together, to be committed, to get it to actually work if you want to make the low line really dissipate. Now, the one thing that is interesting to me is Walls, Moreno, and Cazzola, they're not running the top. They're not running the bottom. They're running the middle. They've just been committed to that middle line. Even when they've had drivers come up on the right side, they've still been running the middle line. Kind of surprising me just a little bit, but right now it is Collier and Webster going to be just ahead of Walls. And how about Jordan Coots right behind Webster?
Yeah, for sure, Josh. Jordan Coots really most of this race. He's been kind of hanging out in the back, really, just avoiding all the troubles. And he cycled out on a pit stop by staying out and took the lead, and then just kind of dropped back and pitted. And then we got a quick yellow, and he's back up here now, kind of mixing it up here.
Like Walker goes to the high line. He's got no friends.
Unfortunately for Walker, no one was able to follow him. And while doing so, that really killed the top lane as Cazzola has fallen like a rock because due to how side draft how bad the side draft hurts the next gens badly. It's really just made Cazzola and Walker and basically the entire top line fall off a cliff as there's only 3 cars really up here now riding the top lane as the bottom got stacked up between Coots and I believe Webster as the bottom still is stacking a bit as the top's starting to pull ahead now.
Yeah, and Devin Frank pulls to the high line as well, so now it's Heater and Frank trying to separate these T1A guys. Heater.
Another thing
Go ahead.
Another thing you kind of mentioned about how with the next gens and how you can make the top work, the momentum shifts are really drastic with the next gens. Like once one lane gets like stalled out or something, it will become very evident of how much that lane falls off. The momentum shifts and the runs, they're so quick here, and really you just gotta take for the next gens. You just gotta take really every run you can, and like it's really difficult to kind of time it here in the next gens, just given how both lanes can be gridlocked, but also given how how the momentum shifts can go.
We have a third line starting to form up, and it is Heater, Lorenzo, Rivera's, and Wall's gonna go up there. He walled Heater.
Some Mississippi missile activities were commenced there, and the field might have honestly just gotten lucky that that wasn't a larger wreck, as that just kind of hurt the rest of the field, as it's allowed a 3-car breakaway between Walls, Frank, and Cazzola. And now Moreno and Collier.
This T1A guys all go to the high line, so once again lined up first, second, third. Collier right behind Moreno. Collier pulls down. No surprise there. Webster follows.
One thing to kind of look at also is there are two guys that were involved in a bit of a recent caution, or has been involved in incidents. Cody Rivers and Luke Mahone. Those guys were in the past few incidents here, and they're now up here, kind of in the mix, kind of dicing it a little bit here. Rivera's hit the inside wall in the recent caution. Look, Mahone lost the nose earlier, and now these guys are up here.
Yeah, I've noticed it as well. Actually.
Oh, we have a spin in the back.
Yep, we do. Caution is out.
Ethan Harrison's involved. Pierce Maffitt is involved. Ooh. Just like Declan George and Devin Frank got into one another, and that kind of is what set off this wreck, as several guys that were involved in that. One car hit the inside wall, nose forward, and that might be some really bad damage. And it looks like, I'm trying to figure out who it was. It looks like it's Dawson Allen. Dawson Allen has some good nose damage from that incident, and Ethan Harrison has a meatball, so I think Harrison's race might possibly be up in smoke here. I think it might be a wrap for him potentially.
Here's a replay of the accident. I don't know what my telemetry was doing there, but it definitely was not finding the accident.
And whoa, everybody's coming down pit road. Oh, we have a spin on pit road. Declan George and Brad Sawinski got into it on pit road as George tried to go into his stall, and Sawinski turned him.
Good thing cars are, you're able to drive through cars once you're in the pit boxes. Because that could have been pretty bad for a few drivers.
Yeah, good thing these are steel bodies and they're not paper mache from what the old Gen 6 used to be. And Josh, I think we might have missed this, but apparently there was an issue with Jordan Kuntz's computer or something. He was, from what I'm hearing, I think he lost several laps. His iRacing, from what it looks like, crashed. Looking back, the replays, and he has lost at least 2 laps, and he is pacing around the field to try to make him up here under yellow, as Cody Rivera's and the admin team, they're going to allow Kuntz to get his laps back after his computer crashed here under this caution, and he's going to get his laps back here while we're under yellow.
Yeah, I actually did not catch that.
A really strange deal, as I kind of lost sight of it too with all the action we were going on with. But yeah, Kuntz lost. He lost 2 laps, and he's having to make them all up here under yellow, and he's coming around through 3 and 4 right now, trying to make up that lost time or those lost laps.
So 38 laps are complete. 37 laps are left in this race, so just halfway. 4 cautions. And Jordan Kuntz will only be able to get 1 lap back. So at the next yellow, will more likely be a wave around.
If I were him, I wouldn't be sweating. We'd probably get a yellow to get it back. Knowing how everyone's going to be good on fuel here, and it's just going to be a race to the end, he'll get it back.
Pace car going to pull down to pit road. T1A guys. Top 3 cars on the high line. Mahone, Rivera's, and Collier. The first 3 on the bottom. 36 laps to go at the line. Michael Walls. He is going to lead us to the restart zone. Green flag back out.
Unfortunately for Luke Mahone and Cody Rivera's, they did not get a great start on the bottom, as the pack is just kind of falling off a little bit here as those T1A guys drove away on that restart. They built a bit of a decent gap here, but Mahone is going to have a monster run here. We're going to see what he does here through the backstretch.
He wanted to pull low, realized Jurgensmeyer was going to stay high with Cazzola, and Mahone thought better of it. My guess. But here comes Traver Burns and Shockey Tarpley.
We hadn't talked about Traver Burns all night, Josh, and he's dicing up here. He's going to try to lead the bottom here to try to get by all these T1A guys, as he's going to be shoving Luke Mahone, who just ducked down there.
So now it goes to 4 cars that are teammates, all lined up, nose to tail. Cazzola backing up to Jurgensmeyer's nose. And here comes Sawinski and Walker and a block.
Oh. Wall's going to stay in the middle lane with his teammates as Sawinski's going to duck low. And here comes Brad Walker on the top. And he's there, and he's going to power by with a big push from Hunter Collier with... Oh, Collier going to make a move, going to take the middle line ahead of Michael Walls. He's going to take the race lead away.
Collier now getting a huge shove from Micah Walls. Walls trying to get that bottom line clear again, and now they are all moving up to the top.
Hunter Collier has no help, as it looks like Walls is going to blow right by with helps from his teammates here, as almost all 3 of them are going to get clear, as Cazzola could not get quite clear of the bottom.
Jurgensmeyer not up in line with the rest of the guys right now, just having to push Collier. And right now, I have to say, I don't think Collier reminds us at all.
I don't think he does.
Collier holding on to that thing as huge pushes keep coming his way. Collier gonna be clear. He stays on the bottom. Cody Webster right behind Jurgensmeyer. Oh my!
Ooh.
Squirrely there.
Another thing to mention is also is the pack is kind of broken up a little bit, as there's a good number of guys in the back that are kind of in danger of potentially losing the draft here, starting with Quentin Haley, and he looks like he's gonna have the sniff of the draft from Traver Burns, as some of these guys kind of have to get hooked up in line here because they're at risk of potentially losing the draft if they don't work together here for a moment to get back up, as Haley's back, Sawinski is, but some of these guys side by side, they're kind of hurting themselves, side drafting one another. They're going to have to get lined up or else they might go at risk of losing the draft, and one of them being Jordan Kuntz. As they're 3 wide back here, and I think they might have just lost it possibly.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Cody Rivera's back there as well.
These guys are going to try to get a 3-car tandem going between Kuntz, Allen, and Rivera's. They're going to try to get their way back up here, as these guys are in big danger here. If they can't get back up here, they're in trouble. As this group up ahead, the lead pack, they're kind of starting to go ride that middle line here. As very little cars are going to ride the bottom, as they got a lot of ground and teamwork to make up here, as it looks like this front pack's starting to sort itself out a little bit. As I say that, they're 3 wide, mid-pack.
Yeah, Heater's stuck on the high line. Collier, Jurgensmeyer, Tarpley, Haley, Sawinski, they're all on the bottom line. Heater just trying to find a hole at the moment, get into. And he was not able to get just in front of Brett Bennett. You're looking back at these guys here. Cody Rivera's, Dawson Allen, Jordan Kuntz, Nicholas Borowski, and Ben McDonald. 5 drivers in this pack. If they stay single file here, really work together in a positive way, they might be able to catch those drivers up front, the first 19. You know, you may be thinking, well, how? It's 5 against 19. Well, you know, sometimes at these kind of races, smaller packs like this will catch bigger packs, especially when the bigger pack is racing each other hard. Like right there, this mess, 2 wide, and also not really on the top line, but the bottom line having to check up a lot as well as this is going on. So I think, you know, those 5 drivers that lost the draft, I think they'll be all right.
I think time will tell here to see if these guys can, the guys that lost the draft can run down this lead pack here, as really right now it's just those T1A guys. It's just led by Michael Walls, and they're just kind of really dominating this thing at the moment here as the green flag laps start to kind of click in a little bit.
Collier once again with some steam on the bottom. Jersmeyer pushing Collier. Right now, that high line, though, just overpowering the bottom line.
Yeah, it looks like they're just so much more connected. They're so much more on each other, and they're really working together a lot better, it looks like, than the bottom is. With Moreno all over walls, just being there, Cazzola being there to shove Moreno into getting walls right to his bumper. It looks like just a lot of coordination, and the bottom just isn't really as coordinated, really, as the top is.
Ben McDonnell and Nicholas Borowski, they are side by side. They've actually lost the draft of Rivera's, Allen, and Kuntz. So now I think that's going to hurt these guys.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the more numbers they had, the better. And now that those two have lost the draft with the Rivera's, Kuntz, and yeah, with Kuntz, Rivera's, and Allen, they're just going to lose more and more time at this rate as we're coming across some lap traffic here at the front.
Going to be Brian Lorenzo going a 7th lap down, Ethan Harrison going 1 lap down.
See here if they can tuck in line here and keep up with this draft with their damage or potential damage they have.
Look at this bottom line though, Collier. A great run here from Jersmeyer. Tarpley and Mahone in tow.
They didn't quite have the numbers there when they were side by side, but they're all spread out, really. And now the top is just showing its dominance once again as Collier is slipping back a little bit, as there's going to be some guys like Andre Robinson and Brad Walker who peels low to try to use a run here, as he's going to get help from behind from, I believe, Cody Webster here, and going to try to add 2 more guys to the bottom here to take a challenge on these T1A guys.
So now it's Blake Walker and Cody Webster leading the bottom line. Still Collier right there. Jersmeyer behind Collier. You know, the one thing I haven't noticed is really any side draft. These guys have been keeping a decent distance between each other on the side. You know, we're 23 laps to go. If you're Walker, do you start thinking about maybe going up high as side draft? Well, I mean, really, it doesn't matter. Webster pushing the living daylights on Walker! He's going to save it.
Incredible save from Blake Walker, but unfortunately that kills the bottom once again, as that moment there kind of split up this main pack for a moment here, as some of these guys are kind of fading a little bit as they had to kind of react to Blake Walker making a heck of a save there on the bottom, which very easily could have returned it into a massive wreck.
They are catching Ollie Reeves 4 laps down is Reeves. Here's Reeves going to stay on the low line, so everybody going to have to move high. Walls, Moreno, Cazzola, they were up against the wall, moved down to the middle line.
It's going to be really tight here for guys like Webster and Collier to get by, and they get through okay and avoid a potential mess here as they're going to kind of bleed into the middle lane here as they're not going to ride the bottom. They're just going to stay up there for now as Cody Webster's going to be going to the bottom as Cazola's kind of dropping like a rock a little bit here. He's lost some momentum as really Moreno and Walls, they're just kind of sitting ducks at the moment as the rest of the field had a little bit of a run, but Cody Webster's going to follow Moreno here.
Yeah, I was going to mention Robinson went to the outside. Webster went to the inside, and, well, Cazzola just, I think maybe a little bit of side draft slowed him down. And now Webster moves down to the bottom. Collier staying right in line. Cazzola wants to get back with his teammates. These guys starting to break away from everybody else.
They are, and Josh, several laps, literally this time by, we had several cars come down pit road. Brad Sawinski pitted, Blake Walker and Quentin Haley, they came down to pit. I don't know. I thought they were going to be good on fuel. I don't know what happened there, but they just came down pit road as everyone else up front is going single file. And are we actually about to see green flag pit stops here at the moment?
It's very possible, and Brad Sawinski's still on pit road. I thinking he was caught speeding.
Meanwhile, Haley and Walker, they get off the pit road okay, and they're going to try to get off all right as no one else pits. As this lead pack here, they are just kind of jockeying for dominance on that middle to high line as Cazzola just got left hanging in as he's fallen off, and he's going to be all the way in the back now as his two teammates are going to be 1-2 here while he's going to be dropping more spots as he tucks in over Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, one of his teammates.
You know, I was just going to say, if you're up front, Collier, Webster, Robinson, you're starting to separate them. You got Cazzola back here now. See if they can maybe separate Moreno and Walls, but you mentioned Jurgensmeyer letting Cazzola in. I don't know, that's still dangerous because you still have teammates back there.
Yeah, initially Cazzola was tucked in right behind Collier, and I'd say that Collier couldn't really make a move of any sorts really at all because, he had Cazzola who was definitely not going to go with him, but now that he's got Webster, Collier could be free to possibly make a move whenever he so chooses to, or if he even wants to.
But Collier is going to have help. He is going to have Robinson, Webster, Robinson, and maybe Frank be committed to going with him. Try to get Walls and Moreno to fall back a bit. Maybe try to split them up. It's going to be really difficult right now. 17 laps to go. They're going to have to try something.
Josh, we're getting some major call-outs right now. Several guys are going to be pitting, including those T1A guys. They are exclaiming right now that they are coming down pit road for their last stop of the day, and I believe we're about to see a lot of guys trickle down as here they come.
Cannot afford any speeding penalties.
It looks like everyone gets down very smoothly. No problems, no spins, nothing. Everyone's good. Now it's all going to come down to what that lead pack is going to do here when they come around. Led by led by Andretti Robinson.
How about this? Cody Webster gets out first, and it is Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Michael Walls, Collier.
Yeah, this group is kind of not. They're not very. They're not very locked up too well, as it's a 4-car breakaway here with Webster, Moreno, Walls, and Collier. Meanwhile, you have Cazzola, Mahone, and Jurgensmeyer. They're all separated really, and they did not really get.
Oh,
off.
Ethan Fonseca Moreno coming back down pit road. Did he get speeding on exit? Or maybe not enough fuel?
Oh no. I believe, yes, it is a black flag, Josh. I believe he did speed. Oh no.
Oh, Andretti Robinson in the grass. Trying to come to pit road.
A tough break for Ethan Fonseca Moreno, who definitely had a great shot here tonight to win, and now his opportunity has gone down pit road.
So right now, Cody Rivera's, Declan George, Nicholas Borowski, Ben McDonnell, those guys are first, second, third, and fourth. They have yet to come down pit road. They will need to. Then it is Cody Webster, Michael Walls, Hunter Collier. Caution! Wes Gallo.
Ooh. Oh. What in the... Uh-oh. This is... Wow, this actually... Oh, this isn't good. It looked like Sawinski and Gallo were both side by side for quite a while, and it all came to a head on the front stretch. It looks like that they both, just because of how much drag the next gens have when you try to side draft someone, it hurt both of them, as Sawinski, it appears, lost the draft from this group that he was with, and it was because Wes Gallo was on his outside, and it looked like Sawinski got tired of it and just turned west. It's the darndest thing I think I've seen all night so far. I did not think we'd have beef here, but I guess we might.
Yeah, I had some beef for dinner.
I hope it's 300 miles long.
I don't think my stomach can fit that much. If you didn't catch that, Xfinity race used to be beef splits for dinner 300. Although I actually really did have beef for dinner tonight. So that was true. Anyway, Jerry Robinson stays out. It's going to try to get lucky, or not lucky, but wave around. So leader is going to be Webster, followed by Walls, Collier, Brett Bennett, Wyatt Roberts, Trevor Burns, Gabe Cazzola, Luke Mahone, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, and Shockey Tarpley, the top 10. We're going to restart with 10 laps to go, because they're going to come around and take the 1 to green, this time by, which will put them at 11, and restart with 10 laps to go. See if they are able to make it to the end without another caution coming out. But, hey, it's Talladega. You're going for a race win, and the regular season is winding down very, very quickly. So, not many opportunities left for these drivers to try to claim a win before the playoffs start. And actually, let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule. So, see Talladega race number 8 of the season. We have Chicagoland next week, and then that's it. The regular season is over. We move on to the playoffs with Bristol, New Hampshire, Pocono, Watkins Glen, Texas, and Nashville. If you're wondering what the difference is between the races in blue and the races in yellow, well, the races in blue are bracket challenge, mid-season bracket challenge, which I have done a very terrible job at letting you know what's going on with that. But that is then continuing on as it has for past couple seasons. Lights on the pace car are going to go out. And Webster takes top line. Walls bottom. Collier top. Bennett going to go with the bottom line on Walls. Now, it's a little interesting for me. And I'm going to tell you why. Brett Bennett and Michael Walls, they are not teammates. But they do both know each other very well. Walls running in a lot of different JCTV leagues, leagues that are broadcast by JCTV, as well as Brett Bennett. But mostly the Blazer Sim Racing AmsOil Truck Series. Walls and Bennett, both competitors in that one. And I think that's where they've raced each other the most. Both of them do race on Tuesday nights as well, Slide Jawb Racing League. So, they're no stranger to each other. I think they could get something working out between them two. But, on the other hand, you look behind Brett Bennett. See that 42. You see that 02. And you know what that tells me is Brett Bennett, he has friends. Because Wyatt Roberts and Trevor Burns are teammates of Brett Bennett.
That's actually quite a unique change of pace, because all race we were glazing about 2-1A and how they ran the field, but maybe it's these guys' turn instead, and they might want to kind of control the rest of this race here with all these guys hooked up on the bottom here on this restart with just Michael Walls ahead.
Can Side Draft Racing steal one? Or is it going to be somebody else? Pace car into pit road. Going to be 10 laps to go here at Talladega in the OJ Memorial 200. Cody Webster. Michael Walls, front row. Green flag is waving once again. Hold on, guys. This is about to get wild.
Webster got a great restart there. The Walls hooked up to him really nice, but could not get to his outside. Is going to give him a shot as the bottom for a moment gets a little stacked, as Webster's going to go right back to the top, coming off of 2.
Drivers are pushing hard. See lots of wiggles all throughout. Top 3 are clear. Webster, Collier, and Mahone. Now Mahone's going to work with Webster. Collier moves down in front of Walls. Mahone all over the back bumper of Webster.
All that momentum went to the top there. The bottom really lost its steam as Walls is trying to fight back, shoving Collier as they are trying to get 3 wide. They were 4 wide for a moment in the back.
Gabe Gazzola was a part of that. Gabe Gazzola going to the top line in front of Rivera's. Bonsek moves up there as well.
Whoa! Webster was sideways through 4 and saved after getting a big shot from Mahone. As here comes Walls on the outside of Mahone, as Mahone's going to duck low, as he's going to not get the help, as Walls is going to go for the lead on the outside of Webster, leaving him hung out to drive with open jaw, the Jurgensmeyer.
Here comes Collier pushing Mahone on the bottom. Brett Bennett, he's going to get through as well. Brett Bennett, 5th place.
Oh, they're 4 wide back there, and they're trying to not run each other over back there as Ben McDonald's in the sucker hole. They're still 4 wide for a moment, and I think they may have calmed down for a moment as they're still hectically 3 wide.
Here we go. Brett Bennett, Wyatt Roberts, they're going to be on the bottom. Cody Webster pushing Jurgensmeyer and Walls. That's going to get the top 3 clear. Here comes Mahone. Bennett and Roberts move in front of Mahone. 7 to go here at Talladega. And a huge run now for Brett Bennett. He does not do anything with it. Jurgensmeyer actually blocks and Peter in the wall.
And he's got a huge run. He's going to give Wyatt Roberts a big shot into Bennett, into Jurgensmeyer, into Walls with that accordion effect there. As the field is now kind of bunched itself back up together after splitting up for about a lap or so. As now Walls still leads this thing with help from his teammate Jonathan Jurgensmeyer.
First 2 teammates, second 2 teammates. Everybody else, well, I really don't know, but they're going to split. Wyatt Roberts 3 wide. Roberts falling back.
These Jurgensmeyer and Walls are going to have to go all the way to the top to leave Brett hanging as Walls stays in the middle as Jurg has a huge run and Walls barely makes an aggressive block to block the run as they are 3 wide with Jordan Kuntz taking the lead.
What in the world? Where did he come from? Jordan Kuntz was 7th on the last time at the line. He's, oh man, on the apron.
And they're 4 wide and they're about to crash and they are somehow holding it together and Jurgensmeyer leads.
5 laps to go, they're still 4 wide. Clinton Haley, Collier, Walker, and one other driver, Declan George. I didn't forget you, Declan. Meanwhile, Jurgensmeyer. Jurgensmeyer leading the race. Michael Wall second. Brett Bennett. Ben McDonald.
Right now, it looks like the top is kind of steaming ahead as Rivera's just trying to lead a charge on the bottom here with help from Cazzola as really it looks like numbers are building on the top as guys are trying to get themselves set up here as now that we're getting to the latter stages of the race here as they're just trying to find places with the most momentum as they are getting 4 wide back there off of 2.
Oh,
there they go. Moreno, Walker, Burns around, and they're still wrecking after the caution. Rivera's and Mahone spin with Cazzola. It was only a matter of time, Josh.
All right, let's take a look at our replay here. Yeah, 4 wide, actually 2 rows deep, it looked like. And, of course, the camera that selects is going to be here on Luke Mahone. So after the caution was out, we're going to try to go back and see what initially brought out the caution.
Yeah, it looked like Mahone stalled out for a moment, and that kind of really got the field started for 4 wide, but that didn't cause the wreck. It looked like it was more so behind the 4 wide incident, as it looked like it was between Moreno and Haley that got together.
Yeah, just, I mean, so much stack up going on, and
and then right after that, when the yellow came out, there was an incident up front in the 4 wide wreck as it looked like Mahone and Rivera's were involved as they got into it with Kuntz, as it looked like Rivera's kind of came up a little bit as Kuntz tried to go up, or no, Kuntz just kind of held his line, and Rivera's came up, and Rivera's kind of tapped Kuntz one way into Mahone, and that just started the second wreck. It was a really odd just incident there.
This has been incredible. And your top 5 drivers, Jurgensmeyer, Walls, Bennett, Borowski, and Roberts. What a race this has been so far, and we're going to have a green-white checkered at least one, up to 3 attempts, so we'll see if they use them all.
If I'm not mistaken, Josh, Jurgensmeyer was involved in an earlier crash early in the race, and he had his nose caved in, and Brett Bennett was also involved in an incident earlier in the race. And these guys are now in the top 3 here with a shot at the win here. And we're just going to see how this pans out, as they're going to have to challenge Michael Walls here, who's been one of the best so far today, kind of dominating this race in some way here, leading a lot of laps and kind of leading the field.
This is going to be very interesting, and right now my predictions for the choose cone, Jurgensmeyer and Walls, I believe they both go the same route, and we saw them earlier take the top line, albeit they had more numbers, but I still think they take the top line. Brett Bennett, he wants the first row. So, okay, if Jurgensmeyer and Walls do go to the bottom, either way, Brett's still going to be on the front row. The one thing in question is Borowski. Where does he go? And I think he would follow Brett Bennett. And then Wyatt Roberts will also do the same. Wyatt Roberts teammates with Brett Bennett. Borowski just kind of up here with without teammates as far as in the top 5. So as far as top 5 goes, I think the first 2 go one way, the next 3 go another. And after that, it's any man's guess. And Walls, Jurgensmeyer, they are showing high. Actually,
Whoa.
is Brett Bennett going to go high with them? Is that what I just saw?
No, he fixed
Nope.
it
Okay,
out.
he did. The camera was just terrible. And actually,
As
Roberts went high. Roberts did go high.
yeah, and a lot of guys, Josh, really in the top 10, they followed the top, and they believe that just by following Jurg and Walls here on this restart, that they could get as good a jump as these 2 guys are to kind of advance their positions off the bottom here, depending if the bottom doesn't get a good jump here. But I mean, we'll find out here in just about half a racetrack away. The question really at this point has got to be if they're going to make it to the line here, since we do have 3 green, white, checkered attempts, and this is going to be attempt number 1. We got to see if they can make it back to get the white flag before a caution comes out, whatever it is.
Yeah, so the way that overtime works here in iRacing, drivers are going to take the green. They have to make it to the white. If they take the white, that's it. If there is a wreck, more than likely no caution will come out. iRacing will not throw a caution, but admins could. I don't think they would, but if a wreck happens after the white flag is out, that's it. They're raced back to the checkered. If we get a yellow before they get to the white, then it will be another attempt. Re-rack them, restack them, and do it again. The race can end under yellow. That's if we use 3 attempts at a green, white, checkered, and yellow comes out still before we get to the white. Green flag back out, though, and yeah, it didn't take long for Jurgensmeyer and Walls to get going.
Yeah, no shocker at all. You could tell coming into the restart zone, the bottom was not as set up as the top was, as the top looked all lined up as Brett Bennett and Steve Borowski, they're just falling off a cliff here. Or Nicholas Borowski, excuse me, they just clearly got caught sleeping there as this top is just blowing away.
Oh, Cody reverse! Saves it.
He keeps it straight as we have about a 6-car breakaway here as Gabe Cazola's trying to slice things up as they kind of stalled out a little bit now as they're kind of pulling the pack together. He's going to have a huge run led by Declan George and Brett Bennett. We're going to see what they do. It looks like we're going to get the white flag, Josh.
Micah Walls takes the lead. Jurgensmeyer falling back. It is Walls and Webster. Jurgensmeyer going to pull in front of Cazola. Is there enough time?
These guys right now are sitting ducks here. I think if these guys can't, if the field does not catch right now, if I were Webster, I would wait till...
Oh, they're catching Cazola bullseye.
I'd wait till the last moment if I was Cody Webster to pull out a line here to try to get by Walls. As here comes Cazola.
It's 4 wide. They're spinning.
Through goes Jurgensmeyer to the point.
Jurgensmeyer, the long-awaited win. Checkered flag, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer.
My pick, Josh, my pick wins it, and I just don't know what to say, and I don't know how he just did that, but Jonathan Jurgensmeyer just won this race.
Brett Bennett finishing second once again.
Of course he finishes second. The laughing joke just won't end, Josh. Unbelievable, though. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer gets through and wins.
We both had the right idea. Thinking Jurgensmeyer was going to win, of course. You got the pick. Took the pick from me. Jurgensmeyer. He did a great job. We knew he was going to win soon. We didn't know when it was going to come. It really, for Jurgensmeyer, it wasn't a matter of if. It was a matter of when. And I've heard a lot of drivers call him the future of sim racing. Jurgensmeyer finally breaking through on JCTV. And, you know, they say that first one is the hardest. After that, the rest of the wins, they come a little bit easier. And now, if I'm everybody else in any other league that Jurgensmeyer runs in, I'm a little scared.
Yeah, I'd be shivering too if the future sim racing just won his first race. Just how he did here tonight. I mean, he definitely had some adversity there all race. He got caught up in some accidents, and he definitely had to battle through his damage and get that all fixed out and put himself in a great spot there at the end when all the leaders wrecked to get right by and take the lead away.
That was incredible. Great finish. Before, we're actually going to take a look at the replay there. There's no way I will get away with not showing the replay here. See here from the camera views of the blip. Cody Webster pulls up to block Cazola. That stacks him up. Cazola goes down. They go 4 wide. Jurgensmeyer, I mean, he just had a hole. He just was able to, you know, really do nothing. Just stay where he was going. It reminds me of when Ross Chastain won at Talladega. They asked him, "What'd you do?" He said, "I didn't do anything. I just went straight." And, you know, it was like the seas just parted for him. He was able to get through. And I think that's what did it for Jonathan Jurgensmeyer.
Yeah, it looked like he just held it straight, and really what kind of led to the incident was Cazzola and Roberts, they tried to go for a hole that was there, but it closed kind of quickly once they got there. Walls just kind of turned off the yellow line, and it looked like Webster tried to shut the door, and they just all came together, and that's really what kind of led to this ordeal here from the lead and caused the big wreck. And Jurg just picked the one lane that was wide open and just, like you said earlier, drove straight and just didn't look back at all at everyone dying through the front stretch.
You know what? Because you picked Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, I'm going to let you interview him when we get there. So that means I'll let you also talk to Luke Mahone.
Very well. Luke Mahone, it's the fellas in the booth. You got us?
Yeah.
So that was definitely a heck of a race there. Just walk us through what you were going through there on that last lap and how you managed to wind up finishing third there when it was all said and done.
You know, I honestly do not know how I did that. I went from like 18th to third in 2 laps. You know, the whole race I was trying to run my race, but work with some people. I mean, I don't know. I just got lucky, I guess. I mean, coming out of 4, I knew we were not going to make it to the checkered finish line without wrecking, so I was prepared to just dive. I was thinking about diving through the pits, but I knew I'd get penalized for that because I'd probably make up enough time to win. So I just went through the grass. I don't know how. Nobody made it through that wreck behind me, other than what's his name, Zachary, I think. But yeah, it was exciting. I'm still pretty amped up from it.
Yeah, I mean, and also you weren't a stranger all night. It's like, what do you think you could have done there potentially to kind of position yourself to maybe have had a shot there at the end? Like, given all night you were really up front contending and dicing it.
Yeah, I was trying to work up front, but it's kind of hard to do without any so during the whole, I'm on a new-ish setup. It's the same setup, but it's at a new location. And so some of my settings aren't really working right. So my mic is really messed up. I don't know why. So I couldn't really talk to any of my teammates. So I think next time I'm going to have better communication. And definitely the first part of the race, everybody was trying to get the lead. And then Mike Walls kind of just took it and wouldn't give it to anybody. And he pretty much dominated that race. So, lap, 20, I just kind of gave up trying to get in the lead and just decided it's best to let things go how they are, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Well, a P3 after tonight here at Talladega after a wild finish. What got it done for you? Sponsors, teammates, shout-outs?
I definitely got to shout out Austin Duran. He's my designer. He makes all these schemes that I run. I give him a lot of work, so I gotta thank him for not getting mad at me or anything, freaking out because I'm giving him so much. I mean, I give him a lot of money too, so he should be okay. And then I gotta think if anybody is watching that I've sent the link to. What's up? And then I gotta thank Monica. She's my girlfriend. She's been supporting me ever since. Not trying to be cheesy, but she's shown a lot of patience when I'm sim racing, so I gotta thank her for that.
That is tonight's third place finisher from the OJ Memorial 200 at Talladega. Thank you, Luke.
Yep.
And Josh, I believe you have once again our second place finisher in on JCTV, who is no stranger, Brett Bennett.
Tradition unlike any other.
Brett, buddy. Man, you were doing really good out there. Another second place finish, but I feel like this one is one of the more harder fought second place finishes that you have gotten. Just kind of walk us through. I mean, battle with those T1A guys. It was really tough. They were controlling this race really well. Once they got split up, then it was a lot easier for everybody to kind of do something, but still tough. Then there on the last lap, I mean, chaos happened. So what was it like for you?
So we executed really well. Me and my side draft racing teammates, Traper Burns and Wyatt Roberts. We also had Dawson in there tonight. He ended up getting P5, which is awesome finish for him. And then Traper was in there, and Larry Miles. Larry had damage and wasn't able. But pitting on pit road, me, Traper, and Wyatt came together. We got on and off pit road, executed really well. Came out about a second behind Webster, Micah, and I think it was Jurgensmeyer at that point. No, I think it was somebody else at that point. It was
Brett. Brett, are you still in the sim? Brett,
Yeah.
are you still in the sim? Pull up the replay.
Dawson, we're in the middle of an interview.
Go ahead. Excuse us viewers from that. Go ahead, Brett. Go ahead.
Okay, carrying on. Carrying on. Sorry. Oh, it was Hunter Collier who was up there because he has a dog on his car and I wanted to pet it.
Seems legit.
Yeah, but we got a good restart together. We ended up losing Traber because that was a situation where me and Wyatt got clear and we had to take the move. So we had to take the move, and then I was really happy. I was just riding behind Mike and Jurgensmeyer and Jurg, waiting till the last lap because I knew they were going to be locked together. I wasn't going to have the help if I tried to make a move on them. So I was just waiting till the last lap when things started to get hectic. Got that caution. I got a terrible restart on the inside, just no help from behind. I didn't get a great jump, but then the inside line everybody moved to the top almost immediately. Thankfully, Wyatt was able to get down in front of me, and then my goal became kind of to push him to the win. Then they all wrecked off of 4. I thought I had a chance at it, and I thought they were going to go back up the track, and they did, but they didn't do it quick enough, so I got in the back of Wyatt. If I hadn't done that, it might have been a drag race to the line between me and Jurg, but overall, I'll take second, another second place finish, but it gets old, but at the same time, it's a good finish. Best result I've ever had in this league, so good run tonight. And hopefully carry that momentum. Actually, it was a lot of fun working with Micah, I was basically working with Micah and go battle him for the mid-season tournament championship on Saturday night. So all in all, I had a lot of fun tonight. So always enjoy plate racing. I think I'm pretty good at it. So, yep.
All right. Well, second place, it is a bummer, but it still is a great finish. Sponsors, shout outs. Who gets it done for that 47?
Well, first of all, we already heard from him, but Dawson Allen came on P5 tonight. He was in there. Side draft racing, all my teammates, Larry Miles, Wyatt Roberts, Traber Burns. They invited me to join them this season. I've had a lot of fun racing with them. They're a good group of guys. Really enjoyed racing with all of them. I got to thank Michael Walls. I really actually enjoyed working with him tonight. I know I've had my run-ins with Micah, but all in all, I think he's improved a lot the last couple months as a driver from where he was in terms of aggression and being a much smarter driver. I've been really impressed with him. Always got thanks to Wrigley Stats. They're on the car. SBLD, Brian, Toasty, Danny, all our bus buddies, Jeffrey. Come with you, Mike, with Jeffrey, Mikey, and Dane Cruz. All my teammates. But Wrigley Stats. Parents for tuning in and watching. I know they're probably among the JCTV 700 subscribers, which thanks to JCTV as well for broadcasting. All of that. I had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks for Cody for putting on this league and putting the money and doing all he can to make this a good league. Yeah. Hopefully we'll go out and go win on Saturday night.
Alrighty. Congrats on the runner-up finish, and we'll see you Saturday night.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.
You too. That was Brett Bennett. Runner-up finish here in the OJ Memorial 200. Michael Kruger, you have our race winner, Jonathan Jergsmeyer.
I'm down here at Victory Lane as I've caught up with the man that has been dubbed the future of sim racing, Jonathan Jergensmeyer. Jergs, just walk us through that last lap there when you got hung out to dry, coming to the white flag by your teammate, and you were just fading back. Just walk us through that.
I mean, me and Michael were working well that entire last run, but I tried everything I could to screw it up there at the end. I went a little higher than Mike expected. I don't think he meant to leave me out to dry, but he got below me, and I thought I had another chance. I had another life with Gabe, but I did the exact same thing. Just went a little higher than he expected. He got let out to dry, but Gabe had a big run in there at the end, and I mean, I told him just go as high as he can. He can win this race, and he went as high as he could, and and then they all ended up wrecking behind me, and I was the winner. I don't know.
You mentioned about how you lost the draft there. Comes the white flag when Micah hung you out. You had a lot of adversity thrown at you tonight. You were involved in the first few incidents, and you managed to bounce back late and recover to put yourself in position to win. What helped you get there to set you up there on those last few restarts there to put you in position to where you were?
I mean, I didn't qualify very well, but I mean, I tried as hard as I could to try and get up there. I was working with Ethan, Gabe, and Micah, and they were up front the entire race, and I tried my hardest to get up there that whole race, and incident after incident, just sent to the back, but I finally got a good run there, and I was stuck on the bottom. I couldn't really hook up with those three that entire race, but I mean, it took the pit stops. I didn't have a very good pit stop and almost lost the lead pack there, but I mean, it's just about making calculated moves. Mike was really, really good today, and he helped me get up to the front, and I don't think I would have won if he didn't work as well with me. So it's just, I mean, just putting myself in the position at the end of this race. That's all I try to do, and I mean, crazy stuff like that happens, and I know that, but that's it worked out today.
Well, your first career win, the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series. What got it done for you tonight? Any sponsors, teammates, shout out, anyone?
I mean, shout out all the Ethan, Micah, and Gabe in the call. They worked really well with me today. They worked really well with each other, and Micah worked really well with me today. Shout out Justin Rott, he's the man. Shout out Jonathan Parker. I don't think I'd be here today if he didn't call me future sim racing over a few console races. So I don't think I would have gotten iRacing if it weren't for him. So shout out to him too.
That is tonight's winner.
Real quick, I just wanted to mention something that Mikey did not mention. When we do picks to win, sometimes most of the time we don't tell each other who our picks to win are beforehand. It's actually just kind of a surprise now. But in my mind, I was thinking Jergensmeyer's my pick to win. I'm going to pick Jergensmeyer. I always let whoever's commentating with me pick first. Mikey said your name, and I was like, man, now I have to pick somebody else. So we both thought you could get it done tonight. Unfortunately, it's an L in the column for me because he got you first. But congrats on the win, John, and it was some really good race out there. And I think now that first one is finally gotten on JCTV, at least. I don't know if you do any other league racing, but the first one on JCTV, at least, I think you can start picking up some more.
Yep, thank you guys.
That was Jonathan Jergensmeyer, tonight's race winner here in the OJ Memorial 200. So I realized as we were doing interviews that we did not go over our unofficial race results. So let's go ahead and do that. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, of course, race winner. Brett Bennett, second. Luke Mahone, third. Zachary Bonsek, a shout out to him, finishing fourth. Incredible run for that number 78. Dawson Allen, shout out to him as well, finishing fifth tonight. I believe this is only his second start in the SAAC Coast Coast Cup Series. Declan George, 6th. Brad Sawinski, 7th. Devin Frank, 8th. Traver Burns, 9th. And Cody Rivera's brings it home, 10th.
Jordan Kuntz finishes 11th from tonight. Ethan Harrison, after basically having a lot thrown at him tonight, and finishes 12th. Pierce Maffett, excuse me if I'm getting that wrong or not, comes home 13th. Larry Miles, 14th. Ollie Reeves comes home in 15th. And Dre Robinson, P16, with Nicholas Borowski coming home P17. Eric Heater finishes 18th. Cody Webster, 19th. And Quentin Haley rounds out our top 20.
21st, Shaq Tarpley. Ethan Fonseca Moreno, 22nd. Wes Gallo, 23rd. Blake Walker, 24th. Michael Walls, man, 25th. Such a bummer for him. And Gabe Gazzola, 26th. Both those guys, such a great job just controlling this race. Wyatt Roberts, 28th, one lap down. Hunter Collier, 29. What? Okay, Wyatt Roberts, 27th. Hunter Collier, 28th. Ben McDonald, 29th. Brian Lorenzo, 30th. I can math. My ticker can't.
And then rounding up the back of the field, we got Duncan David, 31st. Brady Floyd, 32nd. Harry Mitchell finishing 33rd for tonight. And I don't know if the ticker show this, but 34th, Ellis Wells.
Yeah, of course. Ellis Wells did not race tonight as he was race control. And big shout out to Ellis Wells. These guys, after last week, really wanted a race control to help make decisions. And Ellis Wells stepping up, taking that taking that position. At least for tonight. I don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing or not with Wells, but big shout out to him for stepping out of the car and doing that. Yeah, I mean, that was really fun to watch. Fun to call. Talladega is always such a unpredictable track. I mean, 6 cautions. You know, this race, it was clean, but it was wild.
For sure, Josh. Once again, Talladega did not disappoint. It had a wacky, wild finish, as it almost always does here on iRacing. Is we definitely had a last lap pass, all right, and a wreck to the end of the line, and we saw a first-time winner in Jonathan Jurgensmeyer coming home with the W, and I mean, it didn't look like he was going to be there really to kind of make it work, but the leaders wrecked and the seas parted for him, and he was the first one to get by and win this thing. And it's just kind of what it's all about here, winning at Talladega.
So, upcoming on JCTV tomorrow night, the I9 Designs NAOR series is on a bye week. They will not be racing tomorrow. The regular season finished last week. Their All-Star race is going to be next week, which will be at Talladega, and then they will start their chase. Saturday night, Blazer Sim Racing AmsOil Truck Series will be at Richmond for the their final mid-season madness bracket challenge thing, where it will be Brett Bennett and Michael Walls competing head-to-head for a chance at some money and a playoff spot. Then Monday night, TNR Truck Series. They will be at Indianapolis. Looking forward to that one. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which, by the way, AmsOil Truck Series at Richmond is 7:45 Eastern Time. Tuesday night, Slide Jawb Racing League. They start their playoffs. Kansas, that one's going to be 8:45 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday night, Cessna XASCAR Cup Series will be at Kentucky, starting at 9:45. And 1 week from tonight, SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series will be at Chicagoland for the final regular season race of this series. So, still plenty of action coming up on JCTV. You will not want to miss a thing. And also, before I forget, and Adam kills me, go follow JCTV on social media at Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And check out our website at jctvracing.com. And that will have all of our upcoming schedule, plenty of links to past broadcasts, information to future broadcasts, and can get you to our social media as well. So go ahead and check out jctvracing.com. It's going to do it from us here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway in the OJ Memorial 200. And big shout out to the drivers, fans, admin team for all they do. Thank you, 700 subscribers. It's been an incredible journey so far, and looking forward to just continuing to put on some awesome shows for the awesome fans. Dawson and I and the rest of our crew have a lot of fun doing this. And also, on behalf of Michael Kruger and the entire outstanding crew at JCTV, I am Joshua Copperl signing off, saying so long, and we will see you next time.